But here's my flip side of that. Would you personally hire a realtor or send your mom or relative a referral to a realtor in another state that didn't know how to use the internet or didn't know how to use a smartphone? Absolutely not. That, I think AI is going to be that. And consumers are going to also start to want to know what our AI marketing plan is for their home, which I can dig into a bit more. But you can't stick your head in the sand either. Like, you need to be up to date on what's happening at least, so you can choose where AI fits into your personal business. I don't think you can ignore it.
Artificial intelligence is no longer coming to real estate. It's already here. The real question is this: are agents using AI to elevate their business or quietly falling behind? Today on Real Estate Roundtable, we're sitting down with someone who isn't just talking about AI. She's actively using it to run a smarter, more scalable real estate business while still protecting what matters most: client trust and human connection. Our guest is Blair Knowles, owner and broker of Ridgeline Real Estate, a Vermont-based brokerage leader, property owner, landlord, and educator, helping agents adopt AI the right way, ethically, practically, and profitably. If you've ever wondered how AI fits into pricing strategy, marketing, lead follow-up, or transaction management without sounding robotic, this episode is for you. Let's get into it. Blair, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much. Thanks for that nice intro.
Hey, Blair, before we walk and talk AI, take us back. What led you into real estate, and how did that evolve into owning a brokerage and managing rental properties in Vermont?
What led me into real estate? You got to tell a good story here, right? So I went to college, and then I was floundering. I got a degree in communications and video production, and I was maybe the most unhirable thing out there. I remember putting in like job application after job application. I was working for a theater company doing communications, earning $20,000 a year and like getting by on that like you can do in your 20s. And I dated a gentleman who was a house flipper, and then I also dated another gentleman who was a commercial broker. And through those relationships, I got like to see the inside track of both of those worlds. And I was like, this is not rocket science. And it also matches well with my personality. I just found it fascinating. And I didn't want to go back to college because college had basically been useless for me the first time around. And I hit this age, like 26. I joke with my husband that some people get there faster. I became an adult around 26. And before that, I was still figuring it all out. Anyway, I was 26. I was like, I got to do something here with my life. So I went and got the real estate license and was fortunate enough to be put with a team that knew what they were doing. I always tell people, like, in the beginning, I don't care what you have to pay for your split. Go get a great mentor or be on a team that knows what they're doing. My split in the beginning was 80-20, 20 to me with no cap. I earned 20% of every deal, but this team was running super high value lead campaigns. They were pumping great leads at me, and I got put into the position of listing specialist, which is what I wanted because I read all the books and listings equal leverage, et cetera, et cetera. So I was dumb enough or ballsy enough in the very beginning to be like, I'm a listing specialist at 26 with no year experience, and you're only going to give me listing leads. They put me in that position. And I say it was like going back to college and learning a whole new education and working full time, which you can do when you're in your 20s and you have no other commitments. And I probably earned like $40,000 in that first year, but every dollar I paid that team was worth it because of all of the education I got. And then I quickly took that education. I went independent at the franchise brokerage I was working at. And then I started my own team. I hired an assistant probably before I was ready to do that, but he still works with me today, which is really cool 10 years later. And then we built a team, and then we took that team and we built our own independent brokerage. We left the franchise model mostly just because we wanted to build a container that was big enough for our agents to keep growing with us and not have to leave. And I'm still running that independent brokerage today. And we have about 25 agents and admin staff. I'm in Vermont. And we did this past year in 2025, 150 million and 319 transactions. And I've removed myself from production when I had my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old. I wanted to be home nights and weekends. So I became a true managing broker at that time. And that's my journey.
That's an awesome journey. I like that. It sounds like just a page out of Gary Keller's book.
That was the first franchise, and I was reading the book.
So did I. I still have my original book that I got from my broker back then.
Nice.
At what point did you realize traditional systems weren't enough anymore?
They probably were enough. When I left the traditional system, they said you should stay, you could make more by building a mega team. And honestly, they were right, but I wanted to do it a different way for my lifestyle. I knew that I wanted the agents that were with me to stay with me. And I knew that I wanted to also grow. So I don't know if that's what you meant by traditional systems, like the brokerage models, or do you mean AI systems?
I was meaning AI, but yes. You
Sorry.
can go to the brokerage models too.
Yeah, so AI has been my new frontier in the last year and a half. I don't know that there was like an exact moment. It has been the boil the frog thing, where as I learn more, I see how powerful. I feel like I have an aha moment every week of, oh my God, like what you can do with these tools. And when people think of AI, they primarily think of chatbots like ChatGPT. Like people love to tell me all the time, oh yeah, I love AI. I use AI all the time. They're talking about using ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity, which is great. And that is where most people start. There's a lot more than that out there with AI. There's additional AI tools. Like one of my favorite ones that I always recommend to people is probably my top tool of 2025 is something called Whisperflow. And it's a voice to text AI. I call it the Siri that doesn't suck. It's probably really bad for my spelling because I was a bad speller to start with. I don't type anymore at all. I hold down a key. I talk to my computer, whether that's on Facebook or in a Google Doc or my email, anywhere that you can type, you can use this voice to AI tool. So I love that one. That one's really basic. Like it doesn't have to be difficult to be useful, but it's different from a chatbot like ChatGPT. So just opening people's minds to the fact that there's multiple kinds of AI. Another one is called Gamma, which is a slide deck presentation builder that I've been loving. If you have painstakingly had to build presentations in Canva, I think this is so much better. You basically dump in an outline and it builds the whole presentation for you. You're not going and searching for images and designing slides. If I'm ever designing a slide, I know I'm not in my top 20% of activities that are producing for me, and I get angry. And so like now I'm like, thank God, I'm never gonna design another slide deck presentation again. AI is gonna do that for me. And like another form of AI is automation. So you might have heard people talk about NAN or Make or Zapier. And that's when you really start to take AI and pair it with your other business suites. And ideally, you build these workflows that are fully automated and you don't have to touch them at all once they're built out, which is something I was trying to do before we got on this podcast. But the problem is, okay, here's the pitfalls. You can go so deep with AI and get stuck spending all of your time on it. And we need to remember that real estate is a relationship-based business. Like I have a realtor at my firm who is in her late 50s or early 60s, and she's not tech savvy at all. I doubt she's ever opened ChatGPT. And I don't think that AI is going to disrupt her business anytime soon. Like I really can't see her losing a bunch of business, because she still goes out and walks around her neighborhood and talks to people and has all of these 60 and 70 something year olds that know her. She's got a farm of 200 houses that intimately know her. She's posting events and dropping off pies and sending out postcards. She's fine. So I think that what I'm saying is the lens that we need to view AI through in the real estate industry is, where is it actually going to save me time, get me leads, and actually move the needle, rather than I spent all day trying to build an automation, didn't get it set up, and now I lost a day.
And what do you think, what's the biggest misconception agents have about AI? Like, there's a lot of fear around AI replacing agents. You just mentioned that lady, and I'm pretty sure she's going to go through her whole life and career doing what she's doing. She's going to keep her business. But let's say newer agents coming in that don't adapt AI, or let's say younger agents like myself, I'm in my 30s. If I don't adapt with AI, I'll probably be out of a job in 20, 30 years or something like that. So the question is there, what are the biggest misconceptions that we have about AI? I don't think it will replace us fully ever in a way, because as you said, it's a relationship business. In my perspective, we are the hand holders of the two sides of a transaction. And if we're not there to intermediate, those transactions can go south really fast, really quickly, bulk of the time, because it's people yelling at people. They're yelling at us now, and we're like, what you put on a gun, and we relay that message in a calm and professional manner to the other agent, who then converts it and translates it to their client for their best understanding. That's what we're doing right now. I don't think AI can do that as of yet.
So I just gave the example about my agent who hands out pies, but here's my flip side of that. Would you personally hire a realtor or send your mom or relative a referral to a realtor in another state that didn't know how to use the internet or didn't know how to use a smartphone? Absolutely not. That, I think AI is going to be that. And consumers are going to also start to want to know what our AI marketing plan is for their home, which I can dig into a bit more. But you can't stick your head in the sand either. Like, you need to be up to date on what's happening, at least, so you can choose where AI fits into your personal business. I don't think you can ignore it.
So expanding on that, what do you think agents realistically should be using AI for right now?
It depends a little bit, and I hate that answer. I hate it depends. But it does depend on if you're a brokerage owner, leader, team leader, or a solo producer. I think brokerage owners and team leaders really need to be focusing on AI lead generation, because I think it is the way leads are generated. It is changing drastically. Like, I think about those Google local service provider ads. When those first came out, people that got on that train early had a big boom. And this happens all the time with leads in real estate. There's something, like, if you're paying attention, when I first got in, it was any kind of automation run on internet leads. Like, the general public wasn't aware yet that those automations weren't a real human texting them, and they'd respond to all of them. It was like gold. It was like people would talk to you back then. Now they won't talk to you anymore. But so the way people are finding real estate agents is already shifting to, they're going to ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity. The younger generations, the more tech savvy people, and they're asking, who's the best real estate agent to help my mom in Brentwood, Tennessee, who is aging? My dad has passed away and she's having some cognitive decline. I need a real estate agent who provides a lot of care and also works with elders to sell her home. Like, you see how long that was? It's a whole conversation, as opposed to just going into Google and typing in Brentwood, Tennessee realtor. And by the way, I made up Brentwood. I don't know if that's a town in Tennessee.
It probably is one like that.
Yeah. So I think brokerage owners and leaders, like anyone in charge of others who does lead gen, needs to be paying attention to all of this stuff about AEO and GEO and how to show up. Solo agents, depends on your production level, how much of your own brand you're building. But I think your tool belt needs to be more of, what's my AI marketing strategy for my clients? So when someone goes to ChatGPT, which now has an app integration with Zillow, and they search on Zillow for homes near dog parks in South Burlington, Vermont, can you make your listing pop up inside of ChatGPT by using the right formula, keywords? And it's really simple right now to have a good AI listing strategy. It'll probably get harder. There's probably going to be coming ads to ChatGPT in the future. It's like, just gotta happen. That's my prediction. But things like that, I think a solo agent needs to pay attention to, as well as time-saving tools and communication tools, because AI is starting to make communication easier. And one of the hardest things in the real estate transaction, you're talking about, like, we're the cartilage between the fighting bones that are trying to grind together. A lot of that is just miscommunication. And communication is an art form, and it's hard, but there's lots of tools that AI has. One of them we've been playing with in our brokerage, because I like specifics, is Notebook LM. We will take and we'll brain dump everything around just pick a part of the process, like the home inspection process. We'll put it into Notebook LM, which will create explainer videos. We'll create an explainer video and then save it to a library of client communications, which we used to have email templates, but now we have an email template explaining the home inspection process, and we have an explainer video explaining the email or the home inspection process, which they can text or email to their client ahead of time to try to avoid some of the problems.
I love that. So let's get into that stuff. Let's get tactical. What AI tools are actually delivering ROI in your brokerage today?
Yeah, tools. So combinations of ChatGPT. I mean, and that's cheap. You can pay for a $20 subscription and get all you need from that. To write blog posts, because the blog posts are pulling in leads for us, and to create web pages around to show up in that search. Like, it's a whole strategy around showing up in AI search, which is like an hour-long conversation. So I can't fully get into it, but basically creating a lot of content that goes out in blogs and sits on web pages on your website. So when people search best agent to help with a divorce in Williston, Vermont, you're showing up. And then you can take that same process and just switch out the town, the location, and the topic. So divorce. So now it could be estate sales in St. Albans, Vermont. But you rewrite the copy for the page, you create another web page. Now when AI is crawling the web and looking for people's questions, they're looking to answer, you're hopefully and ideally showing up. It's a lot like SEO, but there's just different ways that you structure it. That is producing ROI. That's bringing in leads.
I like that.
Yeah.
I might steal it from you.
And people are just starting to do this. So I listened to a podcast the other day. I'm following all of the agents that I know of, and I meet a few more all the time that are really into the AI space. And I just listened to a gentleman the other day who's trying to build out 10,000 web pages, which is a little excessive. But that's that sort of, if you get ahead of it and you're an early adapter, if you can get ChatGPT to recommend you for 64 different life events, having a baby in 30 different surrounding towns, that's super powerful.
That is incredible. And if you are the early adapter, you'll probably be the market leader in it too, because it's hard to beat the early adapters usually, because you already have that traction going through Google and all the other platforms that are pushing. And then AI is basically looking at what's being pushed. And if you're the one, then that's what it spits out, which is awesome. How are you using AI for pricing strategy or market analysis?
Not in production, so I'm personally not. The only thing I did with that was I built a custom GPT, which I provided to our brokerage, that will spit out a CMA for them. But it's honestly really simple. All it does is format an Excel spreadsheet. So they have to drop in their 3 comps, and then it does all of the filling the form fills in the Excel spreadsheet. The reason I built it like that is I actually want them to stay really involved with picking their comps. And they can also, after the Excel spreadsheet comes out, manually adjust. And it's the same Excel spreadsheet that we have been using for years. So they're really familiar with it. I just cut down on the amount of time it takes them to produce the CMA. But I wanted that human in the loop. I really didn't want to take too much pricing out of their personal knowledge base. I think that is one of those things that if you are a true area expert, you're always going to do better than AI, because it's just like the Zillow homes estimates. All AI can do is aggregate data for surrounding homes. It doesn't have a great understanding of the fact that the finished basement square footage in this home is pretty crappy. There's no walkout. It's basically just paint and a little bit of drywall, whereas this finished basement square footage has walkout doors and tray ceilings. And so it really does still take a lot of human in the loop.
I don't know what kind of MLS you guys have up there. We have Flex in our area and Stellar, but Flex, I'm on the MLS committee for our board, and we just saw this program sort of implementation demo that it looks at the pictures, AI, and it tells you what to fill out in your MLS sheet. So ceiling fans, walk-in closet, blah, blah, blah. So we're getting to the point where you could upload pictures to AI and it can realize what's on the pictures. So I think, yes, us as area experts are always going to be a pretty heavy force, But if AI could compare one house and know that this house's per square foot price is this much because of what's in it and what it's sold at, and then you upload your pictures of your house and say, hey, look, these are my pictures that you, let's say you took on your listing appointment. You just snapped some pictures of the house so you have something to work with. And you go home and you upload it and say, hey, so what are the differences? How would you price this house and why would you price it that way? And it can tell you that. And it would be, I think we're heading that direction with even ChatGPT as being as simple as it is. I think it can do things like that. Like I create amazing renderings with it. And you know how Box Brownie does your like twilight shots and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
A couple of weeks ago, one of my clients asked, hey, can you like update the pictures a little bit, make it a little bit better, like at nighttime, blah, blah, blah. Sure. I popped it in ChatGPT. Can you create twilight pictures? Boom. In 2 seconds, I had twilight pictures. This is how much it cost me, by the way.
Yeah.
And it is exactly the house the same way as Box Brownie would have done it for me for $25 a shot. It can also start virtual staging for you. I think it's insane how much time and money you can save because I upload the pictures to Box Brownie. They'll charge me the money. I pay them the money, and 2-3 days later, I get the pictures. Now I can pop the picture in and have it back within minutes. And with the $20 a month cost.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
You're totally right. There's probably somebody out there who is doing market analysis and pricing with AI at a high level. I'm just not. You're totally right. And the tidbit on the photos, if you've used GPT, I recommend popping over to your Google account and trying Gemini for editing photos because Gemini is better at not changing elements in the picture. Like GPT will often move a door or delete a window.
Garage, add a screen. I know.
Yes. And Gemini, just like a tiny pro tip, it is the best AI image generator that I have found that is good at only editing what you ask it to. It can isolate inside of the image.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, just put some lights in the windows and it will do that pretty much, correct? Oh,
yeah.
What is Gemini? Is that Google or is that?
That's Google. And a lot of people have a Google Workspace, which is where their email is hosted on Google. And if you do, you get several AI tools that Google is putting out for free, or you get like a lot more use out of them for free. So if you have a Google Workspace, definitely start using their AI tools, which are like Gemini and Notebook LM, which I previously mentioned. Those are the two big ones.
Where has AI saved you the most time operationally?
Writing, that's so boring, but writing, like emails even, and everybody says that, so it's so boring, but I give way more context now. Like I pass leads around my brokerage, and it used to be that I would just pass a lead. I did not have time to give you backstory, but now I'll hold down my button, whisper flow, I'll talk to you. I send out a lot of like emails to our brokerage that are, what's the word I'm looking for, in nature. They're just like process oriented. We're having our end of year retreat day, our advance, here's everything you need to know about it. I used to hate writing those because I'm not good at it. We're going to this location at this time. I would always mess stuff up. And now I have GPT write all of those. Sometimes I'll screenshot an email and drop it into GPT and say, can you reply to this? This is basically what I want to say. And like the angry customer emails, it just, not that we get many of those, everyone's always happy with us. It takes the emotion out of it too. It's just, oh, good. Like I need to get back to this person, but I want to spend exactly 30 seconds of my life talking to Suzanne about her concerns. It's like you can write such a nice reply. Have you ever gotten the 5-page email where they're just venting and they're just mad? You can give them so much effort back in so little time and be so nice. I love it.
Oh, I've used it not for that, but for other communications with different people. I haven't had a chance to reply. I do use it sometimes to reply to reviews that are good, because that's awesome. When you actually reply something decent, it helps your SEO too, by the way, and your stacking in Google. And here's the review. Please reply to this in a professional but courteous, et cetera, manner. And it writes a brilliant, and it's like, it has to be 500 characters because that's what it takes, our response. And boom, perfect reply, 500 characters.
That's a great use case.
It's an amazing tool for that. I love it too, because we're not copywriters, we're realtors, and I used to hire copywriters, and I told this on a podcast previously, that I used to hire copywriters to write my descriptions of the properties because I wanted to get good SEO and good feedback from the clients, and everybody likes it. But now I have chat, and chat helps me write amazing property descriptions, and I don't need to hire anybody to do that for me. And it costs a lot of money back in the day. Now you have $20 a month, boom. That saves you time and money because the guy, again, same process, Fiverr, $10.
Yep.
2 days later, you have to put everything down what you want them to write. So basically, you're doing the whole work for them, and then they just put it into prettier words. So now chat does the same thing in like seconds. And I'm like, wow.
Glorious.
It is. Let's talk about tools that sound exciting but aren't worth the effort.
That's a really good question. I think like people will get really into comparing the LLMs like Claude, Perplexity, Grok, and they love to brag about which one they're using. I'm like, just use one. For the average realtor's use, you do not need to get an account with all of the different LLMs and compare them. Just pick one and use one and you're fine. If you're doing AI at a slightly higher level, maybe like the AI geeks always are like, oh my God, how can you say that? But the AI normies, which is where the average realtor should be, you don't have to go nuts. So just pick the LLM. It's like in real estate, the saying, like the system you use is the best system. The LLM you use, large language model, is the best LLM. So if you like ChatGPT, just use ChatGPT. Do not feel the need to go try all the others. Other ones that I've tried and been like, ugh, the automations. There are the N8N bros, and power to them. They're building stuff that they will sell you, like workflows that they'll sell you. And I would just buy them. Like the average person, I would not try to master automation because it's a huge time suck. It's getting easier, and you can use like ChatGPT to troubleshoot if you get stuck. But those are the days like when I try to build automations, and it's so exciting. The dopamine rush is amazing when you finally get one. But I have sunk days before into trying to build automations that don't end up working. And you can hire someone, and I would wait till the automations get easier. There are platforms that are trying to build out automations where you just describe what you want to build, and then the AI goes and builds it for you. They're not there yet, but they're getting there. Zapier has Zapier Agent. There's something called Lindy.com. But for the realtors in my firm, I would be like, just wait on those, like a year or 2 years instead of driving yourself nuts.
Awesome. I would also like to add for the LLMs, if you start with one and you build it up and you use it really often, it learns who you are and how you respond and how you do things. And if you're switching from one to the other, the next one, it will take much longer for it to realize how you're responding to people and how you want to respond to people. Yeah. It's just good to just get one and stick to it, and it will be really natural in, 6 months time when you have had enough communication in it. Maybe not even 6 months, maybe in a month. But you have to have plenty of conversations with it so it will understand you.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the simplest questions like, what should I cook tonight? I have a family of 4, 2 kids and 2 adults, and we like to eat chicken and potatoes. And then we'll give you a guys cool recipe. Yeah. But these little conversations helps the language model understand who you are and how you do things. And it will build up to a really cool, like a partner almost, that you don't have to pay.
Building off of that, it helps you too. If people who feel intimidated by AI, one of the best tips I've heard is get rid of Google. Just take it off of your workflow for a week. And anything you'd go ask Google, ask ChatGPT. And you were talking about chicken and potatoes. It opens up your mind to what's possible when you start using it for everything. Like you could take a picture of what's in your fridge and say, tell me what to make for dinner. But unless you play around with it, you don't learn that's a possibility.
And what else? You know how they call this, what is it, like decision-making fatigue? Correct. It can release a lot of that fatigue because now you don't have to think about it. You snap a picture, hey, what should I do? Boom, it will tell you. It's like, oh, I didn't have to think. I didn't have to count. I didn't have to do this. I didn't have to do that. And it helps with everyday flow, and it helps you think about your business more because it releases all the other small nominal things, daily tasks. Like I have it help me with my diet. I have it help me with my workout plans. I have it help me with marketing and all the other things that are like, oh God, now I have to sit in front of it and figure out what I should write. No, it's there. It's just, hey, can you write me a post for my Facebook? Can you help me? What should I write with this video that I just created? What should the description be on Facebook? What should it be on LinkedIn? What should it be on X? What should be here? And bum, 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 bum. In minutes, I have all the descriptions, copy, paste, boom. I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's just, then I am in love with AI in a way that a lot of agents are not yet, but it has helped me immensely. And we first discovered it, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what? I just type something in and it answers me? It's like crazy, but it does that. It's awesome. AI really improved client communications without sounding robotic. Yes, it can, but I think you have a better answer for me on that.
I'm gonna go yes for 100. Whether it's the emails that you're writing or like these explainer videos that we've been working on, right now our workflow is you send them a little video message or a personalized text message that's, hey, I put together this video that explains the home inspection process. It's 2.5 minutes long. It will help you prepare for Friday. I'll see you at 2 p.m. Looking forward to it. And then send it. You're not just sending this video with no personal touch along with it. Is the video robotic? It's the way I'm building the videos right now. You're giving all of your own market data. So I am brain dumping into ChatGPT about our area's home inspection process, our forms, our deadlines. It's not like I'm going out and pulling 7 articles off the internet about home inspections and then giving that advice from the video. So you can really customize and personalize the message and then send it. So I think robotic actually means being able to speak to multiple different personality types and learning styles. Like instead of just sending a template email, now we can send an explainer video and a template email, and the lift is very low. I think you're going to get more attention that way. Like you maybe both the wife and the husband actually listen to it before going, because you send it to each of them in a text instead of, did you see that email from Blair? Oh yeah. Did you read it? No. Did you? I think it just gets a little more attention, and you're also able to hit like I read a stat that said 75% of people prefer video to reading. We have a short attention span economy.
For sure. I 100% agree with you. I took Tony Robbins' Business Mastery a few years back. He was really emphasizing on the video stuff. It's like, guys, you guys need to do videos. It doesn't matter. Just get in front of the people and do videos, because they'll watch that. They won't read an email anymore. Yeah. You do email campaigns, put a video in the email. It will have more traction than just text. When you do text, 4 lines tops. Like that's like attention span for a person reading an email, not a text. The text is add a video to your text message, start with a video, and then do a little description after it, and people will actually watch that. I totally agree with you on that. And now that we have AI to create the videos for us too, it's even better. Like we don't have to get in front of a camera, because I know a lot of people are camera shy. Not us, but a lot of people are.
Yeah.
And I remember my first videos. I was sweating bullets, guys. I was crazy. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like a panic attack right now happening. Holding your camera, like mumbling in front of it. Yes, that's how it goes when you're recording yourself for the first time. And the more you get to do it, the more you become natural in front of a camera and adapt to listening to your own voice, which is also scary a lot of times. But yeah, I think that AI can do that now too. And I saw a few AIs. I don't know the names of it, but they take your face and they take your voice and they replicate it. And basically you just tell it what to say and it looks like you're speaking.
Yeah. You're talking about the HeyGen avatars.
Is it HeyGen? Yeah.
And I've also built some client communication videos with those as well too. And they're wild. It's like, what I think is so cool about it is you don't have to put your makeup on and get your nice clothes on every day of the week. It's like you build up that client communication library once. You film your avatar for, depending on which one you're building, 2 minutes or less. And then you have it for as long as you want. You do have to pay for these services. So HeyGen, I think, is $29 a month, and 11 Labs, which is the voice integration, is $22 a month. And the HeyGen voice currently sucks, so you have to pay for both. I'm currently sticking those under the tools that I would not dig into as a real estate agent unless you're going to heavily use it as your strategy. Meaning, like, you're going to build that avatar and you're going to pump out an Instagram video every single day. You're going to build your client communication library with it, because otherwise I think it's just, I've seen some people using it at a high level, but I've also seen a lot of people like just dickering around with it and not getting any traction, wasting a lot of time. So I solidly put that one in the bucket of you have to have a strategy to spend a lot of time on those.
So I don't know if you guys have, or you have a trainer or a coach inside your office, but a lot of the bigger brokerages do. Think about this. You have HeyGen Avatar, and you give it your training program. And guess what? You don't need to pay the $50,000, $60,000 a year for a trainer to be on staff. You could pay, what was it, $29 and $20 or something like that, $49 a month, $50 a month, and play the videos at every meeting about a new training. If you were a KW agent, you remember Ignite and Bold and stuff like that. You could do an Ignite training with the AI bot, basically. And here you go, new agents, just watch the AI bot, where you can watch it anytime from anywhere. You can watch it from home. You can come in the office. We can put it on the big screen, and we don't have to pay a person to do the training. You could be there as a broker to fill in the gaps if they have any questions, but boom, you don't have to stand there all 45 minutes to an hour and give a big speech. I think that's phenomenal. And I think that's the future for coaches too. Like, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That's a massive AI use case. And I'd pair that with, there's starting to be all these note takers. And one of the coolest things as a brokerage owner and trainer of agents is now whenever we run a meeting, you just take the notes, or I'll do my own screen share. I'll record it on a Zoom just for myself. And then I'll take the video and audio, put it into ChatGPT or Gemini, and I will say, write an SOP from this video that I just did. And now it's got a step-by-step, here's how you log into the database. Here's how you so you don't have to, I teach the same thing over and over again. And you can take that SOP and give it to your AI avatar and be like, create an explainer video of how to log into our database and how to use it and how to manage the leads, so that I don't have to explain that to people.
I think that for brokers, it's definitely a win scenario. Agents, look, you got to use it. You got to send those videos out. You got to upload it to your Instagram or wherever. I would only recommend using that kind of stuff if you are going to use the product itself. Although $50 a month in our world is not that much if you look at how much you spend on weird, shiny objects out there on a day-to-day basis, like Zillow,
oh my gosh,
etc. If you could, yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I'm a baller. I remember that. I had it back in 23. I think we were paying $9,000 a month for Zillow. I'm not kidding you. For that much money, I could have had this AI bot for years and generated natural flowing leads out of it. That's incredible how much money went into that. And they developed their AIs now. So out of the money we gave them. What mistakes do you see agents making when they adopt AI?
Trying to do everything. Great question. Trying to set up an AI avatar and also trying to build an automation and trying to, like, even the people that are doing this at the highest level are usually niching. So you heard so many different ideas in just today's podcast. I think people that are using AI the best are picking like one or two ideas and really going deep on those. But that's the same with the real estate industry in general. It's like you can't try to do open houses one weekend and buyer seminars the next weekend, and then the weekend after that you're going to cold call. It's like you got to pick one thing and get really good at it, and that's where you're going to get more traction.
Correct. I agree with you on that. It's always that, I want to do this, I want to do that. What's the new best thing to do? I know it's my experience for myself. Okay, guys, this is coming from me. I've done it. I went into the videos. I went into this, doing the more social media marketing, trying to build that up, and that didn't work that well. Then farming Facebook didn't work that well because I wasn't really 100% focused on that, because at the same time I was paying for Zillow leads and Realtor.com leads, and I was running around and doing videos of communities, and I was doing this and I was doing that. So I was in a million places and it didn't work. But last year I toned it down and I'm all referral now, and I focus on my past clients, and I'm doing that at the best way I can. I have an ISA. I'm doing a totally different thing, and it's working. Holy cow. My expenses went from 15, 16,000 a month down to a couple grand maybe a month. And it's, hey, I'm still closing almost a deal a month. I was closing a lot more before, but it cost me a lot more and it took a lot more energy out of me. I'm also
I'm not really pot called the kettle black. I'm trying it all. But if within the AI space, for my particular scenario, if I was like, what is the thing to focus on? It's learning how to build out those optimized web pages for AI search and the blogs for AI search, because that is where you don't have to pay $9,000 a month to Zillow if you can perfect a lead gen system that is basically free.
correct. What does over automation look like in real life?
Over automation?
Yes.
All right, here's my best example. I was like leading a training with my agents the other day, and one of them asked me a technical question about our database, and I didn't have the answer for her. So I emailed their support staff, and I did it right there in the meeting. And I used my whisper flow, and I held down the button, and I said that we needed help adding schema to the blogs. And it wrote, we need help adding FEMA. And I just hit send because I was like doing 1,000 things at a time. And she forwarded me my own email. I read it at like midnight when I was up, and she was like, you just have to read this. It's hilarious. And I could not stop laughing. I was like, oh my God, that was the worst email I've ever sent. So you do have to slow down sometimes. And I call it like human in the loop. Like AI does it fast, but you got to check it.
Awesome. What skills should agents develop now to future-proof their businesses?
It depends on what they're most interested in, but I say just get started. Like you should have, my recommendation to everybody is there's a time block in your day that's at least 15 minutes of learning about AI every day. And it's like, how do I do that? You could listen to an AI specific podcast. There is one that is specific to the real estate industry. It's 30 minutes a week. Rajiv Saja puts it on. It's called AI Flash. He's Berkshire Hathaway, and he interviews different agents about how they're using AI. I listen to it because I always get ideas. So like something like that, or I have my community, the Real Estate's AI Network on Facebook, just reading Facebook posts for a couple minutes a day about what other agents are doing. I think the baseline of what you need to do right now is be aware of how others are using AI in their business so that you can hone in on where you might want to use it.
Gotcha. So this naturally leads into the work you're doing with the RAIN agent. What gap were you trying to solve when you built this platform?
I was trying to teach my brokerage, our 25 agents, I talk about AI stuff all the time, and they'd be like, okay, that thing you were just talking about, how do I do it? And a lot of times it's really technical. So I wanted a platform that had like screen share where I could show them exactly the strategy behind and the technical steps of what I was doing. Because a lot of stuff isn't that hard, but if you don't know where to go, what button to push, then it seems hard. So I started building out this community just as a place to store all of the trainings for my agents. It's a circle community. Like I think a lot of people know School, Alex Hermosi there's these different community platforms where people can subscribe and be part of your community, which is like your trainings that are being updated all the time. So I created one of those for our brokerage, and then I just opened it up to agents all around the country other than in the state of Vermont, because you don't want to train your competition. We're a little state. We're really little.
Okay, who benefits the most from this approach?
I think everyone's such a lame answer, but anyone my agent who's 50, 60, has got her SOY, probably wants to work for 10 more years. She does not care. But I think the agent that is trying to take ground, that wants the next 5 years of their business to be them slowly taking business away from others, I think that's the agent that benefits the most.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. What's one ethical line agents should never cross with AI?
AI when we talk about the chatbots, they're just trained on the data they can find. They're using the internet primarily. So one of the best examples I've heard is someone used AI. They built like a custom AI to go through resumes for hiring. And they had to go back because they realized that AI was only pulling out of the resume pile the typical candidate. So it was discriminating. It was like the person who holds this job the most is a 35-year-old Caucasian male. So all the resumes were Caucasian males, and it would do it by name. So you have to keep bringing your brain into the process. You have to keep checking the work.
Got you. Rapid fire takeaway. Let's do this, okay? One AI tool every agent should test this year.
Whisperflow.
One task agents should never automate.
You don't agree with me, but I think market pricing.
One mindset shift agents must make to stay relevant.
AI is above them, and that it's not something they will be able to benefit from. It's for people who are much more technological than they are.
Got you. Blair, this has been incredibly valuable. AI doesn't replace great agents, it amplifies them. And today you showed exactly how to do that without sacrificing integrity or relationships. If you're listening and want to learn more about ethical, practical AI adoption in real estate, make sure to check out The Raid Agent and join Blair's Real Estate AI Network on Facebook. And if this episode helped you think differently about your business, do us a favor, subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with another agent who needs to hear it. I'm Lancelot Lenard, and this is the Real Estate Roundtable. Until next time, stay sharp, stay human, and build smarter. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for joining us on Sir Lancelot's Real Estate Roundtable, where we've unveiled the mysteries of real estate together. Remember, in this kingdom of possibilities, every dream home is just a discussion away. I can help your real estate dreams come true. Just call me at 786-449-7518. Until our next roundtable, may your ventures be prosperous and your homes be filled with love and joy. Farewell, fellow knights of real estate.